Drive Time Sports, and this program, like I said, dedicated to the ladies as we focus on ladies football. Right, with me here is Kudzai Kanyere, and I believe she's got a very interesting story to tell. And she's a player, street set. Kudzai, how are you?
I'm all right. Thank you for having me.
Right. Kudzai, I just heard your story, and I thought maybe I should share it with the listeners. You from Rusape?
Yes, I'm from Rusape.
And you came to Bulawayo just for soccer, because soccer was active in Bulawayo.
Yes, I came to Bulawayo just for soccer. There's a lot more to it. I came from Cyprus back home to basically relaunch my soccer career.
Okay. So there you are from Rusape. She came to Bulawayo just because the ladies' football was vibrant. And she went to Cyprus. But she's coming back again. Not to Rusape, but to Bulawayo. So where is the passion coming from? Did someone play football in your family?
Oh, no one played football in my family. But I think I've always been interested in football from a very young age. I would play in the streets with the boys, and that was it. And then when I went to Form 1 at Monte Casino, it was one of those things that I was deeply interested in. So I played from Form 1 to Form 6, but not much came out of it, so I decided to continue with school. So I went to Cyprus for 2 years, and I realized my heart was still back home. My heart was in the soccer field, so I decided to come back and relaunch my soccer career, figure out what I can do and where I can go with soccer. Okay,
and you back as a player. What is your, maybe, I know there's something that you're aiming for. Where do you want to be?
I think my greatest hope and wish is to play for Portland Timbers in America.
Okay.
Possibly before I'm 26.
Okay.
Yes.
But national team, you still think you can?
I would love to play for the national team, but when I look at my age and then the players already there, I feel like maybe there's not much of a chance, but I guess if I put a lot of work in it, a lot of determination, because that is what it calls for, a lot of hard work, a lot of training, maybe I can make it on the national team.
And what position do you play?
I play the left wing. Left wing? Yes.
Okay. And, okay, let's compare. In Cyprus, did you have a chance to play football? Or?
They don't call it football because it's not actually football. It's like indoor soccer where we have 5-a-side. It's called Fusta.
Okay.
So I did play Fusta. I was the captain for 2 years, and I got 2 awards. I got the best sportswoman of the year, 2015 and 2016.
So with that record, I'm sure if the coaches, if we've got some coaches here, I'm sure maybe they'll spread the word. You know, that's how people market themselves sometimes. You know, so the overseas best player. Okay, and let's come to Bulawayo. Besides your team, which team gives you a torrid time?
Well. It would be hard to judge from the games that I've played.
Yeah,
so
from
far.
the games that you've played.
Oh, the only team that gave us a very, very tough time was Inline Academy. That was my first game. We tried our best, yes, but that team is very good and very strong, and it seems they've played for a long time together, so there's a lot of coherence. So basically, I feel they're the best team so far from the teams that I've played with.
Okay, and the 3 weeks, I know maybe you're still adapting. The 3 weeks that you've been here, what's your take in terms of playing? Are you still adapting, or you think your game is slowly coming up?
I think the first 2 weeks were basically for adapting, and now my game is going up. I believe the coaches would have the right to say that, because as a player, maybe I would blow my own horn and it wouldn't make sense. So I feel the coaches would know better as to whether my game is going up or I'm still on the same level.
Okay. And as a general, how do people take ladies soccer? Do you think when you tell people that you're going to play soccer, are you getting...
Yeah, obviously I get those weird glances, but that's okay. I feel I've come to a point where I've accepted the fact that I am in love with soccer, and it's the one thing that I want to go all the way. That is the only thing that I want people to know me for. So when it comes to the questions and the glances and the negative comments, basically, I don't mind. I've decided this is what I want to do, this is where I want to be, this is where I want to go, and this is how I want to do it. So when it comes to the comments and all that, yes, they do come in here and there, but I close my ears to all that.
Okay, but you're getting the support from your family, isn't it?
That's a little hard. It's been a struggle. It's been a very long struggle, and it's been tough. But I think at this point, they've realized that it's the one thing that I'm all about. So they're very, very supportive.
Okay. No, thank you very much. And maybe a few words to those who might be listening.
Okay, to the listeners, I'd like to say, please support women's soccer, because for some people, it's our bread and butter. It's what we dream about. It's what I sleep over. It's what I want to wake up and think about. So stop the biases. Support women's soccer, because it's important. It's that important to some of us. So to the corporate world, support women's soccer. We need sponsors. We need kits. We need cones for... It's basically the items that we use for training. We need bowls. We need food. We need that funding that the men get. We need everything that we need, so that the next time there's the World Cup and we qualify, it's not the same situation we had previously, but instead we have a standing whereby we can stand at par with the teams like the United States of America or France. So, yeah, I think that's it. Thank you.
So, in short, before you go, you think the Rio Games, these are some of the things that could have affected them, isn't it?
Yes.
Not getting enough attention, not getting enough resources, isn't it?
Yes. So I think we need to raise awareness on women's football, so that the more the community knows about football, the more they are willing to support. And the more the players do well, the more the community is willing to support too.
Siyabonga Kudzai Kanyere. Skyzmetro FM, and we go back to the PR just to give us a rundown of the games that were played. And someone was saying today, as ngama results Chibuku, but it's a sports program. We'll talk about that. But Lee, maybe just a rundown of the games played over the weekend.
Over the weekend at Sizinda P Arena, Streets at 1, Hearts of Oak 2. At Fairbridge, Blackboots hosted New Orleans, and the game ended 0-0. Zeterapi walked over the school side, Sobugazi. Country Park lost 0-20 to Inline. Did you hear that? I said 0-20. Country were home. They lost to visiting Inline by 20 goals to 0. But it doesn't happen more often. The last time that we got such scorelines was when the same club Inline worked Sobugazi 27 goals to 0. And then the next one is Wange versus Magwekwe. It was postponed because Magwekwe failed to travel. Then the revived Highlanders Royals lost 0-9 to Barrow Jets.
Okay, so that's... And the fixtures for the coming up? Or maybe we'll have those in the near program.
Yes.
Right, we heard there from Lee Mangena. Thank you very much. And like I said, today's program dedicated to the ladies and ladies football. 12 teams, Bulawayo, and 2 schools. That's quite interesting, 2 schools. But I'm sure you'll be getting more schools, because these are becoming part of the curriculum. Sport is becoming part of the curriculum. So I'm sure you'll get more of these. And the more we get schools participating, I think the more awareness the league will be. And I hope that by next year, this league will be vibrant. Are you part of ZIFA?
Yes, we are part of ZIFA. That's why we're called the ZIFA Southern Region Division 1.
Okay, so there is no feeder, like the team that wins.
In a normal sense, we are supposed to be relegating, which means maybe the bottom 2 or maybe bottom 1 relegate to Division 2. But for the last 3 years, this Division 2 hasn't existed. The last time that it was there, it was probably in 2012.
Okay, so now with these late ZIFA elections for ladies, what's going to happen now?
ZIFA elections, from what I've heard, because number one, I'm male, two, my team was not there in the Premier League, the National Premier League in 2014, and I'm not going to vote. But there are teams that were there in 2014 in that Premier League, that namely Barrow Jets, Inline, Wange, and New Orleans. Those two teams will be part of the elections that will take place on the 19th of November. And the teams that made up the 2014 league are the ones that will make up the Premier League. So, which means we played this year, even though Hearts of Oak, coached by Evans Neta, they are number 2 and they are unbeaten in the 3 games to go to before the season kicks off. Unfortunately, because someone changed the goalposts, they are not going to play in that Premier League.
But the teams in 2014, are they still?
Some are still existing, some they don't.
Okay. So who is the top goal scorer? And with how many goals? I had 20. So I'm sure the top goal scorer must be.
Unfortunately, I didn't bring the figures, but the girl that was mentioned by Evans Net, that's Ntombi Tsola Ndlovu, is also known to be a regular scorer in the league. On average, if their team is playing against a weak side, she can score as much as 5 goals. But at the same time, from the players that were mentioned by Bogan Tivele, there's Rejoice Kamfumvuti, she's scoring goals. Even, you'll be surprised, even Majiga Nobuhle scores terrific goals.
Okay, so now next programming will be analyzing that.
Yes, and we hope to be bringing all those personalities for you every time we come in.
Okay. Right, the session is Skyzmetro FM. We're broadcasting from our studios, Emakos. Right, we go to the men's game because we just want to wrap up the program. And maybe, Lee, since you're here, we might as well discuss a few issues. We look at Chibuku, the Chibuku Super Cup with games on Saturday, and then we had games on Sunday. And Harare City versus FC Platinum Mandava, and then Ngezi versus Highlanders at Babafield Stadium. But we'll start with a sad note where 2 FC Platinum players were involved in a horrific road accident. These are Winston Manga and Charles Vanda. And Charles, they both played, and Charles had actually scored. But from what I hear, they are in a stable condition at Mater Day, so wish them a speedy recovery. Charles Vanda, a year ago, he was involved in another fatal accident when he was without mind. So this is his second in almost a year, So we hope that it won't affect his career. Right, let's look at the Ngezi game, where it ended at 3-0. And then Highlanders game, where, as we all know, it ended 1-0. Unfortunately, time is not on our side. But Highlanders, Yachila Bantu Moya, what's your take on that?
My take is that, unfortunately, the club's under pressure. There's this thing of we're chasing a League Cup double. A League Cup double is something that is rare across the world. It's rare to win the most coveted cup in the country, at the same time win the league. So you have FC Platinum and Highlanders in the semi-finals of the Chibuku Cup, probably the only cup that is on offer this year, at the same time chasing the league. And these two teams are neck and neck. So I think there's too much pressure. And also, Highlanders, I think they surprised themselves. Remember, even sometime mid-season when Highlanders lost 6 games on the trot, people ruled them out of the championship. But then suddenly they came back into the championship and they were doing well in the cup. So I think a lot was expected. And remember again, this year's Highlanders is, in terms of quality, yes, maybe they are delivering the results, but they are not the normal kind of Highlanders. When Highlanders are spending money, Highlanders usually look like a mini money bag over the years. But this year, after losing Knox Mtizwa and Bruce Kangwa, it's like they didn't have depth in the team after losing only 2 players. But then they recovered.
Okay, unfortunately time is not on our side, but this weekend, Ichila Bantu Moya. And thank you very much for coming to the studio. I think tomorrow we'll be discussing more on these games. But today's program, we just had to talk about football in terms of what happened during the week. And like I said, Sky's Metro FM will be supporting ladies soccer. And like I said, we want to get a day before your results for the weekend, then we announce them, and then maybe that way we will be there in numbers. Esabantu Bantu, it's goodbye.